Ok, what's up? Chào mừng các bạn đã đến với kênh âm thanh di động. Hôm nay là ngày 1 tháng 4 2024, còn được gọi là ngày cá tháng 4 nha các bạn. Nhưng mà hôm nay thì mình vẫn học bài tiếp tục để mà mai có một tiết kiểm tra sớm thôi nha các bạn. Introduction to Regulatory Framework, the Public Accountability là sẽ là thằng Foundation Monitoring Board. Tiếp theo là Governance Strategy and Oversight là thằng Trustee. Với thằng Trustee là sẽ có hai cái ban chuyên biệt là ISSB International Sustainability Standard với IASB International Accounting Standard Board. Governance là trustee nè, accountability là board nè. The regulatory bodies do not have the power to force companies to comply with their requirement. This is up to national accounting standard. National bodies can do this in different ways, including adopting IFRS as standards for their own country, use IFRS as a basis for developing their guidance, developing their requirements but comparing them to IFRS to determine if their standards are sufficient. IF Foundation, the Justice Foundation is an independent body that oversees the International Accounting Standard Board and International Sustainability Standard Board. The Justice are accountable to Monitoring Board, a body publicly accountable market authorities. The Justices are not involved in any technical matters relating to IFRS standards. They respond to the rest solely with the boards. The IFRS Foundation trustees focus on the needs of emerging economies and small and medium-sized entities. This includes profit and non-profit making organizations such as charities. Each trustee member is expected to understand and is sensitive to international issues relevant to the success of an international organization, responsible for developing high-quality global accounting and sustainability disclosure standards for use in the world's capital markets and by other users. The National Standard Board, Accounting Standard Board, nghĩa là cái bên chuyên biệt để mà làm về kế toán đó các bạn. People in the board is independent group of experts with an appropriate mix of recent practical experience in setting account standards, preparing auditing or using financial reports and accounting verification. Board are responsible for the development and publication of IFRS standard. Sáng ngày tháng 3 2024, sân ăn uống sugarcane juice. The objective of general-purpose financial report is to provide financial information about the reporting entity that is useful to primary users, committed to developing in the public interest a single set of high-quality, understandable, and enforceable global accounting standards. Transparent and comparable information in general-purpose constitution. The ISB will typically comprise with 40 members, who the trustees appoint. Primary qualification are professional competence and recent relevant experience. The board has complete responsibility for on board technical matters, including the issue of IFRS standards. Complete discretion in developing the technical agenda for standard setting, publishing standards, exposure draft and financial and final interpretation as a supermajority. International Sustainability Standard Board (ISSB) responsibility to determine whether there is a need for international sustainability Bộ 2021 to meet the demand for the sustainability standard. IFRS Advisory Council give advice the trustee and the two boards ở dưới chứ đâu có give advice the monitoring board. Its members include investors, academics, auditors, and members of local standard setting bodies. Board consults the IFRS on their agenda, priorities, and issues related to the application and implementation of IFRS. The advisory council comprised 30 or more members appointed by the trustees. IFRS Interpretations Committee. IFRS reviews and provides guidance on issues arising when IFRS have been implemented. Interpretation is the interpretative body of the IASB. The trustees appoint 14 voting members and non-voting chairperson. The committee responsibilities include interpreting the application of IFRS standard. IFRS Interpretation Committee. Interpretation Committee là mình dưới cái IASB. Global Accounting Standard. International Accounting Standard. IASB develops and publishes international financial reporting standard. Each standard is created to cover the specific aspect of accounting. All standard that interpretations issued under the previous constitution, National Accounting Standard, and interpretation issued by the Standards Interpretation Committee that have been so approved continue to be applicable until they are withdrawn. Objective IASB mission statement set out to develop IFRS standards that bring transparency, accountability, and efficiency to financial markets around the world. Our work serves the public interest by fostering just growth and long-term financial stability. Long-term financial stability. The goals of the IFRS standards are to 200 mấy không đi làm cái tú luôn, xỉu luôn á. Goals of the IFRS standards are to bring transparency by enhancing the international comparability and quality of financial information so investors can make informed economic decisions. Strengthen accountability by reducing information gap between providers and capital investors. Contribute economic efficiency to helping identify opportunities and risks worldwide. Improving capital allocation. Duy Khương mình đã nói tiếng Anh mình chưa giỏi. Vết thôi. Developing IFR standards. Due process. IFR standards are developed through process which ensure standard settings, accounting, financial, the business community, project development, setting agenda, planning to project, developing and publishing a discussion, setting the agenda, planning the project, developing and publishing a discussion paper, developing and publishing an exposure draft, developing and publishing an IFRS procedures after an IFRS is issued. May discuss with interested parties with unforeseen issues that have happened because the IFRS being applied. In time, IASB may formally review the standard if, for example, the financial reporting and legal environment has changed. Noting the agenda, planning the project, discussion paper exposure draft usually called International Accounting Standard, International Financial Reporting Standard, General Accepted Accounting Practice, Scope and application. IFRS standards apply to publish financial statement of any commercial, industrial, or business reporting entity. Apply to separate and consolidated financial statement where applicable. Any limitation on the applicability of specific standards is made clear in an IFRS. A standard applies from the date specified in the standard and is not retroactive, exclusive, where rest are not required to be applied. Non-business aspects or business sector entities, private sector, or not-for-profit. Advantages and disadvantages. Comparison between business in different countries. Current investment major financial statement. Company operating in several countries can derive a share basis for preparing their financial statements. National authorities can adopt IFRS as ready-made requirement without developing the guidance. There will be costs involved in adopting may not be rigorous as national guidance. Adopting it may be challenging in some countries because some of its requirements may conflict with local law. Global law. Attempted kidnapping in Queens, New York. Kidnapping. Attempted kidnapping. Sao vậy? Nó đánh gì ta? Attempted kidnapping in Queens. Why? And suspect shot by California cops.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Shots fired, shots fired. Shot, dude! Hey, you're gonna get shot! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Shots fired, shots fired. Bro, why are you zooming? Move forward! Don't move! Don't move! Bro, why are you zooming? Move forward! EMS code 3, I-5 south, just south of Louise. I'm gonna get the IFAC. We are rendering first aid. You got a shot. Hey, what's your name, bro? Juan? Juan, what's your name? I can't breathe, dog. We're working on it, buddy. We're working on it. Shot me in the arm, bro.
Sit down.
You
Sit
shot?
down.
No, I'm not gonna do nothing, bro.
Sit down. I know you're not.
I'm fucking son's a Marine, dog. I have respect. I was
Sit
just
down.
trying to get away.
Sit down.
He's shot. Are you guys able to help us?
So I've got one chest seal here. He's got a through and through in the forearm. We haven't been able to find anything else. I'll just break
This guy's gonna.
Thua qua nó bị đấm hay là bị cái gì đó vô bắn thua rồi. Introduction to corporate governance. Global definition. The system by which business corporations are directed or controlled. Concept of corporate governance. Corporate governance. Quản trị doanh nghiệp. A set of rules intended to create transparency and protect the interests of shareholders and stakeholders. It has to prescribe the role and responsibilities of directors, the stewards of the company, which helps align the directors' interest with that of the shareholders. The way corporate governance operates will vary significantly between companies. In some companies, the owner will own the shares of a great majority of them, and corporate governance procedures will be simple. In other companies, no single party holds a majority of shares, but some financial institutions may have significant shareholdings. The concept of corporate governance revolves around these three aspects: risk management, quality of information, and stewardship. Stewardship, quản lý, corporate governance, and financial statements. The UK Corporate Governance Code, which applies to all listed companies but is also considered best practice for unlisted companies and non-corporate entities, state that the board of directors must present a balanced and understandable assessment of company's position by issuing a set of financial statements, maintain a sound system of internal control concerning risk management, an audit committee, duty and responsibility of directors for preparing the financial statements, ensuring appropriate accounting system and are in place and keeping proper records concerning financial statement of a company board of directors is collectively responsible for their preparation every financial year, showing full and fair view presentation to and approved by the shareholders. To satisfy this responsibility, the directors should only approve the financial statement if they are satisfied with the financial statement, give a true and fair view of the assets, liabilities, financial position, and profit or loss. State in the financial statement that the responsibility of preparing them lies with the directors. The fiduciary duties of directors concerning the financial statement are explicitly stated in the company law of most jurisdictions. Nhiệm vụ ủy thác của giám đốc liên quan đến báo cáo tài chính được quy định rõ ràng trong luật công ty hầu hết khu vực pháp lý. Audit Committee responsibility. The Audit Committee is a branch of a business board of directors that takes charge of a company's financial reporting responsibilities and ensures internal control and keeps in place. The responsibilities of Audit Committee in business include ensuring that the interests of the shareholders are adequately protected concerning financial reporting and internal control, monitoring the integrity and financial statement pronouncement, reviewing in companies' internal control, reviewing the monitoring the external auditors' independence and objectivity and the effectiveness of the audit process. The audit acts as a director's agent when they audit the financial statement. Do not act for the director or act for the report of the shareholders when they audit the financial statement. Ethics and governance, code of ethics and conduct. Code of governance is founded on a series of ethical concepts: integrity, objectivity, professional ethics and governance. Integrity, objectivity, professional behavior. Integrity là tính trung thực, objectivity là có mục tiêu, objectivity là khách quan, professional competence and due care, professional behavior, confidentiality. Ở mật, exam advice, wise ethics and specific events such as annual scandal or not examinable, students must follow SEC scope throughout their professional work. Conceptual framework. Đây là code of ethics, đây là conceptual framework. Tuyên phổ khái niệm is a statement of general accepted assumptions and principles that provide the frame of reference for developing new practices and evaluating existing ones. The purpose of the conceptual framework for financial reporting is to assist the IASB board in developing IFR standard. The pre-papers of financial in developing consistent accounting policies on parties to understand and interpret the standards. Relevance, qualitative characteristic of financial information, fundamental conceptual framework, ethic, code of ethics, variability, verifiability, timeliness, understandability, qualitative characteristic, relevance, faithful representation là fundamental for enhancing relevance, faithful representation, accounting principles, materiality, offsetting, consistency, prudence, substance over form, duality, duality là tính song hành, historic cost and current value, substance over form, prudence là tránh bias. Substance over form is part of faithful representation. It means that the treatment of the items in the company's financial statement should be determined by their commercial. The concept is particularly relevant to assess whether the definition of an element is met. Substance over form là accounting for enhancing là comparability, understandability, timeliness với lại cái gì đó basis of financial statement preparation, accounting principle, going concern, actual basis. Business entity, the contents of financial statement relate to the business. The business is separate from entity from its owner. Business entity, syllabus, chapter 3, quiz, research, The number of requirements and the law and corporate governance costs that relate to the financial statement of public listed firms directors should state in the annual financial that really isn't going concern auditors address the audit report to the financial statements or a report of directors' stewardship of the business. Directors only need to provide commentary about what has happened to the company over the period and its current position. Corporate governance guidelines state that financial statements should provide a balanced and biased view as performance to which ethic concepts do this requirement relate. Qualitative conceptual framework unbiased objectivity. What is the object of objective motive of the International Accounting Standard Board to harmonize international financial with national accounting standard will commit the needs of emerging that brings transparency to financial markets around the world. Which of the following statement concerning the conceptual framework is correct? Compliance standard define elements of financial statement and be specifies criteria for recognizing items in standards for measurement and disclosure of what items in financial statement. The ASI is the criteria for recognizing items. Conclude, what is the underlying assumption preparing for the preparation general purpose financial statements? Assumption for preparing of general purpose financial going concern với going concern. Chapter 3 Balam Ba review. What is the main purpose of the IFRS conceptual framework for financial reporting to assist users in interpreting information and content in financial statement, in developing and reviewing standard integrity of indirected objectivity of investor confidentiality of management confidentiality confidentiality bảo mật a new international financial reporting standard has been released which of the following currency body is responsible for providing guidance on disclosure requirements why there is uncertainty in the original standard providing guidance on the disclosure requirements where there is uncertainty in the original standard. Traditional financial reporting has just been released. Foundation interpretation foundation advisory iPhone advisory không phải interpretation committee foundation to develop and promote financial responsible for developing Advisory Council advises chapter timing purpose, recording business transactions and sales status, receivable and payable of provision contingent assets, inventories. Tạm biệt nha các bạn, hôm nay tới đây là hết.